Yeah.
But can you give the viewers like a synopsis of what it's about and what the main character, like a general idea what is the plot
Yeah.
for him?
Yeah. So Skylark is the name of the main character. It's his last name. And his full name is
Okay.
Akaro Skylark. And he's not a kid. He's a grown man, but he's like in his early 20s. And
Okay.
he's experiencing his first time as a captain of his own pirate crew. Now, here's a cool thing. These are bad guys I'm writing about, but you're gonna be following them as like they're good guys. You know,
Like they're good.
pirates are bad guys. People remember that pirates
Right.
are bad guys.
Oh.
So with Skylark, it's not gonna
Well, once
be
you just told me they're the good guys, they're protagonists. What are you talking about?
Here's the thing. Skylark
It's different.
is doing bad stuff for
Oh,
good
okay.
reasons. He's still
His ancestors
doing
are-
illegal. He's still doing illegal stuff, but he's doing it for the wrong reason. Like he's doing it for good reasons, and there are some
Okay.
selfish, but there's also some things where it's just like, oh crap, we got to be heroes this time. So
I like that though. I think that's more realistic.
yeah,
You know?
and I can give some decent story about him. So he was the child of history documenters. His parents weren't pirates of any sort. So in a lot of cases, Skylark is going to grow up to be a Captain Jack Sparrow, an Indiana Jones, and a Robin Hood.
Okay.
So it's like those three attributes of what makes those characters interesting and good and stuff like that is all rolled into him. He loves
Okay.
thrill seeking. He loves adventuring, and his thrill of being a pirate came from his godparents, because after some issues with his parents and them not being around anymore as a young age, they're not dead. I'm just mentioning that. I'm not killing his parents here.
Oh man, where is that?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't want to be cliche with it. But there's something interesting that goes
Did
on
you
with
ruin anything
that.
by saying that though?
No, I didn't. But there's nothing wrong with me there's nothing wrong with me telling that little bit, because there's a lot to Skylark. The reason why I've been working on him so long is because I'm doing what I can to go away from a lot, try to get away from a lot of the cliche stuff.
Cliches.
And with him, his godparents were pirates. So
Okay.
from an early age, like under the age of 10 and stuff like that, through his, middle school, high school years, on this completely different planet that's not Earth.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're not on Earth. The humans pilgrimed, well, not pilgrimed, but pioneered into another planet. But it was more of like,
Okay.
it's not a refugee thing. Something happened to Earth. And the funny thing is I'm actually keeping this universe from another series I was writing way before Skylark.
Oh, okay. I think I remember saying that.
Yeah.
I remember saying that.
So
Okay. Yeah.
a good portion of the population, or like half or so, had to leave Earth for Earth to heal. And
Okay.
they didn't want to do another Pilgrims and Indians for this planet, so they found another planet that had
Right.
just finished having its catastrophe, like a few eons ago, and the population was low on them, but the people on that planet are very similar to humans. So
Okay.
they went ahead and made these ark ships to actually take them to that planet, and this planet is 5 times bigger than Earth. Reasons why there are floating islands.
Ah, okay. Oh, interesting. Did
So-
you have to do a lot of research about, maybe space exploration and planets? And
There are things that I had to kind of like, let me figure out some real stuff, but in a lot of cases, this
Right.
is sci-fi. I don't have to follow no rules. Just enjoy the story. If you don't like it,
Okay.
it's whatever. I mean, I just tried to entertain you, but if you don't like it, it's okay. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, there's other things you
Right.
could enjoy. You know, you don't have to like my stuff. You know, I mean, because it's like there are a number of stories
'Cause-
out there. I don't want to put anybody down. You know, everybody is everybody can like and dislike whatever. Nobody should judge what they like and dislike. And with my story stuff, it's like it's gonna like I've had friends that would hear certain parts and pieces of my story of Skylark and they would be like, "Oh, that seems so unrealistic." And I was like, "It's a sci-fi. It's not supposed to be realistic. I'm trying to take you
You're definitely
someplace.
gonna get that.
I'm trying to take you someplace that doesn't feel like here." So,
Right.
because as you can
Sweet
see,
adventure,
I
you know,
love
and-
Star
yeah.
Wars. As you can see, all my Star Wars posters in the back, and then my DC. I got the Mandalorian over there, right there. So,
But you know how the fans can be. Even if they like it, they'll pick it apart.
oh, of course, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's always flaws in everything, and some of the people that love and love what they love, there's flaws in that too. But you love it for where it takes you. You love it for the characters. You love it for the story, because the stuff that I was into growing up, it took me places, and it kept my mind off of some of the junk that was going on around me. And I kind of want to do the same thing for others. You know,
Make it an escape.
an escape without the trip.
Right.
Without the
Right.
trip. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do for people, along with getting a story that I produce, and a lot of it is actually dealing with things that I've dealt with in real life, but trying to make it into something that's crazy
Slightly
weird.
different.
Yeah, very different,
Yeah.
adventurous,
Yeah.
adventurous. Because I like Indiana Jones and adventures, and end up like looking for something, and then you end up falling into a tomb of like 50 kings, and you got to find that relic that they were all fighting over or something like that. And there's traps and there's creatures and stuff like that guarding it, and you got to figure out your way. It's like, okay, I got to get away from this thing. I want to be able to put this in a museum, or do I want to sell it to the black market? So those are the things that he's going to be going through.
That's things go through.
Yeah, those are going to be the things he's going through, and his crew is going to be backing him up on these things, because I have a very crazy alien type, diverse crew, and I'm using diverse as of like it's just aliens galore, because not everybody is human, because.
Right. I saw a lot of your artwork, so yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I like creature design and aliens and stuff like that. So it's been a joy to do that. But like the one things that's really challenging for me is actually designing the relics and the tombs and the caverns and the islands and the cool floating cities and the ships and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot to that that's very difficult for me, and I'm doing a lot to actually produce those things in areas that I'm not good with and make them good.
Why would you say what makes it difficult for you?
Well, growing up as an artist, a lot of the things that I only drew are character designs, character creatures.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes down to drawing atmospheres of like areas, cities, mountainscapes, landscapes, and stuff like that, some of those things are pretty hard. Now I'm getting really good with landscapes. Yeah. I'm getting really good with landscapes. Yeah. I know that much, but trying to depict a story of characters and showing how big a cavern is compared the perspective in it all is it's challenging, because you want to show like the size of things and like how awesome it is. And with this planet being as big as it is, the people that inhabit it are normal size, but the one thing also is the animals vary. Like the planet that Skylark is on, it's called Nicoria, and even the plants are vicious on this planet. So like you could like get sucked up by a frog plant, and you're just like, dude, Carlos just got killed by a plant. a freaking plant, man. It was like he was there a second, and then next thing I know, he's like his legs are going down a like bunch of like a bud and being slurped up, and like no more. So those are the type of adventures and stuff like that I want to give y'all.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know, I ran the same issue when I was trying to draw some of the landscape environments for Harvest Cone.
Yeah,
it's on a different planet, and I could never get the perspective right. I watched so many videos trying to figure out, you know, but it is challenging. It's challenging.
It is.
And play like once you have your characters, like, yes, I got the characters. Then try to put it in the environment, like, oh gosh, okay, how am I gonna do this? You know.
Yeah.
And then keeping it consistent is my biggest problem.
Right.
Keeping it consistent.
Right.
You know, so I've been practicing.
That's
I've been
good.
keeping in mind your tips and tricks, you know. So
Cool. Glad they help.
are you ever gonna go back to the comic?
There's actually things I'm working on with one of the guys was working on with me, and he has a series called Mustang X, and we're gonna be collabing a comic between him, his comic series, and me bringing in Skylark into a comic form with his characters.
Oh.
So it's gonna be some dimensional, like interdimensional time rifting type stuff between where they end up working with each other.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And befriending each other, and then it's like Skylark will be helping him in his rift, and then next thing you know, something happens where then you know the Mustang crew ends up into Skylark's rift, and then it's just like, you know, when Skylark sees that, it's like, whoa, welcome to my home. Watch that first step. So that's what we're gonna be working on.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Now, is he part of your group, your crew, or?
Yeah, Times 3 Factory.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a really cool dude, and he's actually wanting to put a lot of effort into, you know, making Times 3 Factory like the new thing that everybody wants to go to, and that's what we want it to be. We want it to be, you know, a rival to DC Marvel one day.
Yeah.
And not to say it has to be that big, but why not? You know, go big or go home. You know, so
there you go.
so there's a lot of things that we're putting together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are you familiar with the Saturday AM on YouTube? Trying to remember the artist's name. I can't name it. Apple Black is the name of the.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I think I've seen stuff on it, but like, cause I like a lot of people like always through my Instagram. I talk to a lot of the people that follow me on Instagram, and a lot of them show me that stuff and send those things to me, and sometimes I have the time to actually look and listen, and sometimes I try to stay a little bit away just to be like, because I try to stay a little bit of away so I don't have some type of inspiration from other artists as much. Don't get me wrong, I like getting inspired by other artists, but sometimes it can hurt you. So you also want to
creativity.
It can hurt your creativity. It can, you know, you have to do it in doses, because like sometimes I know when I'll be like looking at the artwork of Joe Mad, and sometimes my sketches and stuff like that is like, ooh, I'm starting to draw like Joe Mad. Let me stop for a minute, because with wanting to be an animator at one point in life, and I've done some animation gigs, but it's mostly not me actually doing the keyframing and stuff like that. Is me doing the storyboards and the actual directing of the designing of the characters, the directing of the actual storyboard to the scripts. You have to kind of be careful with what you pull from here and there. You can get inspiration, but you also want to be mindful of making sure you keep your style in there. you know, because sometimes you can call on the essence of others, you know, like Spirit Bomb, you know, it's just like, give me your power.
Give me your artwork.
Yeah, give me your skills.
It's funny. It's funny you should say that because with I cannot say his name. I think it's I might be wrong. I don't want to say something incorrect. I think it might be Nigerian, but it's a Nigerian name. But Apple Black is very beautiful artwork. Very beautiful artwork. But I've seen he's been criticized a lot for looking like too much Naruto style.
Gotcha.
You know, because a lot of characters look very similar to that art style. It's still, the story is unique in itself. It's kind of like it seems like it's kind of about magic, but a lot of people criticize him for that. And you know, it's still, even with his other projects, it seems kind of similar to that art style, and he can't stem away from it. It looks like
that's some of the reason why with my style, like I mentioned this in one of my videos, is like I grew up drawing a lot of like Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball Z, Final Fantasy, on the anime side and manga side, and then the American based stuff was a lot of like X-Force, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and trying to think who else was I big into back in the old 90s comic days. It was a lot of those when it came down to the Marvel, because like Marvel was heavily pushed on me. Which was not a bad thing. It was the Marvel comics, and you know, is
who did the pushing?
I think it was some of it was just random, because it was like I would get like I did have a lot of cousins that just collected nothing but Marvel, and they and my older brother, he would like. My older brother's 20 years older than me, by the way. So like he would he would get comics and then read them, and then he would pass them off to me. And there was certain things like that would I would go through those books and copy certain things from those, like certain styles, and I would kind of mix them between the manga, anime, and the Western comic stuff. So
the Wii style, the Wii. You're gonna need to coin that.
Yeah.
West. A little bit of west, a little bit of east.
A little bit of west, a little bit of east. Yeah. And so, and that
doesn't sound that good.
I love the fact that, you know, a lot of people that are artists, they end up seeing my style and they kind of see the Eastern and Western influence, because a lot of people that aren't, you know, into art like that, they'll know one thing and they'll just assume that I'm just you know, I'm just an anime manga artist or a manga artist. And I'm just like, not so much. I'll give it to them when I know that they really don't care about learning what it really is. So I'll just like, I'll be like, yeah, kind of, sort of. I'll say that, kind of, sort of. But when I meet the people that are artists and stuff like that, and I don't even say anything to them, they're just like, you got kind of like an American mix with Japanese kind of thing going. I'm like, thank you, God, I love these guys, because it makes me like it. Even as, you know I have talent, but you know, it does make me question myself when, you know, the majority sees one thing. And it just is like, am I doing what I'm trying to do with it, or what?
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. But yeah, I've always looked at your art, and I've always seen that, like, you compile both styles together. And I haven't seen anyone, you know, artwork that looks like yours, quite like yours.
Thank you.
So you definitely have something going, for sure.
Appreciate it.
And I'm gonna steal that from you. I want to keep looking at your artwork and be like, yeah, all right, I'll draw just like Nick, Alex.
Totally.
My Hearthstone characters, I could say, with what is it's called. I think originally was it Neon. I'm saying that.
Yeah, Neon. My previous poster boy. Now Skylark's taking the. Now I have a few. I have a few friends that are mad at me for not continuing him at the moment. It's because they help write the stories, but all those stories. The reason why I kind of left it is because all those stories I have saved up, is when I wrote when I was a kid growing up, and
Yeah.
they have a lot of fine tuning to do,
Okay.
and those are during when I'm just like, okay, a lot of this has some cliche stuff in it. The reason why I started Neon is due to the Teen Titan era and a lot of superheroes and stuff like that.
Good show.
Well, yeah, I love
Yeah.
Teen Titans, love them, and
You like Teen Titan Go?
I like it. I like it. I don't watch it. I don't watch it like a lot of people or like the ones that do care.
Yeah.
Now, to each his own. I hear like more people criticize me for liking it, and I'm just like, well, I mean, it's different. They wanted it to be comedy. And they wanted it to be comedy, and I'm okay with that, And I'm not one to just say, because I watch a lot of videos where it comes down to the political stuff of art and stuff like that, and a lot of people are saying, well, it's not for you. And I was like, in some cases, yeah, but you do want to be careful of what you provide as the new updates to not alienate your originals, but
fan base.
Yeah, but it does also allow you, as if you are the ones that grew up with it and now you have kids, you can introduce the old stuff to your kids. It kind of it's a double-edged sword right there. So you can get cut by the one and it hurts you, but it got the other side and just like, what, I can do something with the other side and just like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and just show everybody else this other stuff. But we don't talk about what's that one? Thundercats Roar? Yeah.
Oh no, that's the one.
Go away with that one. That was that one was strictly disrespect in my opinion. But Neon was something that was my trials and tribulations of me being a dyslexic kid and trying to fix myself in my writing, because I could not write really well growing up, from like kindergarten, what's that, elementary school to middle school. I had a lot of errors and all that stuff. I would be missing words. I would be missing letters. I would get letters confused back and forth. And with it, I did a lot of written RPGs with friends on forums with these stories. And I was forcing myself to write stories to correct my problems with writing.
Right.
I still have those issues, but it allows me to be more attentive. It allows me to go back and listen. I still have times where I'm just like, that sounds odd. Let me fix this. And even with the spell check stuff, that helps out with, computers and everything. Even when sometimes it's like looking weird for me, I'm just like, that's not right. Let me fix that. That doesn't sound right either. Let me fix that. That sounds a little better.
It's a good challenge.
Let me run it by my co-writer, and let me run it to my sister. My sister, she's good at English, and she used to want to be a speech pathologist, and she knows like tons of big words and stuff like that. So she'll even look at things and help me edit a little bit. So she'll do what she can to like make sure that it still sounds like something I pushed out there.
Would you say your family, that the support definitely pushes you, keeps you going? You said you had a brother and a sister.
I have like two big brothers. Now, technically, the one is actually a little brother, but he's bigger than me. But they're all cool. And then I have a little sister. They're supportive. I think I don't think I've ever had any issues with any of them when it comes down to what I've chosen for my career path or in my journey in my art and stuff like that. So with it, even my parents, they see it all, and they see what I'm trying to push to, and all the planning and all the training I go through on my own self. They see where I'm trying to get to, and they're proud of where I've made weird uh, jumps in gaining money in places of desperation, in factors of using my talent.
Okay.
So I think that's one thing that they've been proud of me for, because when it comes down to the things I need to, I know I need to take care of, it's like I bunker down and I get things done the best of my ability. I may stress out about it, but I get it. I do what I can to meet it and get it done.
Get her done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I say that, because like me personally, like, and I don't have any siblings, so I always wonder, like, how's that, like, having that, like, extra force to motivate you. Most of my life growing up was just me and my mom and stuff, so I kind of just, I was spoiled maybe because I'm the only one she dealt with, but
if you're the only one, what's the point in saying that you're spoiled? You know what I mean? It's just like, it was just you. It's just that's all I know. It was just me. I didn't have to think about nobody else but mom.
Right. But when it came to like working on any type of thing I was interested in, it kind of was like always self-motivated. So I always wondered, like, if you have a big family behind you that like kind of watches over you and they kind of like correct you and not criticizing in a negative way, but kind of like build you up that way. That must be very valuable.
It can be, yeah, and there's always, you always get some of those family members that are just like, they're looking in, but they're not there all the way. And some of them, you do want to kind of tell them, come on, step off, man. I've had a few, like, I've had a few in the family that was a little like that, but they kind of got the hint of when my folks got into it. It was just like, it was like, hey, it was like, yeah, mind your business. And I've been thankful for that. This is like, because I love my family, but I really don't want to be, even a jerk to my family at certain times. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, we all go through our different journeys, and it's just like, we have friends that are going through their different journeys, and even though when we love and care about them and we want to try and guide them too, we just got to be able to support in the best ways we can, in the negative, not in the negative, in the positive. Yeah, you want to support negatively. No, don't go for your career. Go be unhappy with that job and to make your money so you can go and try to do the things that makes you happy. But but positively, you want to be positive in the best way that to show that you care.
Right. My family is interesting, like with the fighting, especially, like a lot of my cousins that I were close with, 2 of them were professional boxers.
Nice.
And then my other cousin, he did a little boxing, but they used to like just make fun of me all the time because I'm always interested in martial arts stuff. They're like, all right, try boxing. And then when I was like 8 years old when I first started. I got destroyed. Like, I was like 20. So that was pretty big for 8.
Yeah.
But I got destroyed. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm not a fighter. Maybe not. But I got back into it. And even when even now when I've had fights, they've criticized me, and say, oh, well, you won, but you must not be training hard enough because that was, you did terrible, So like that stuff still happens.
Yeah.
But the only person that kind of supported me the most is my mom. But I wish, to have a family to be like, oh man, Jay is awesome,
Yeah.
I'm glad. That's what most about, my mom and my family call me Jay. They're like,
Yeah.
oh man, he's a fighter. He works real hard. I really like that. You know what I mean? Now I got my wife, so that's all I need now.
There you go. No, my wife. Yeah. My wife, she's always in the backgrounds in something that I'm doing, and she'll watch my stuff. She'll when she's talking to some of her friends and stuff like that, she'll when they end up mentioning about something in business to her, she's like, oh, if you need any help, my husband, he does this, and he helps, build businesses. And I like to call myself a digital tailor. Like I like to design businesses for people. It's just like the past 2 years, and I'm not sure. Were you in that live stream I did on Instagram?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so I did a live stream
Uh,
mentioning about the stuff that I was going through these past 2 years in 2018 and 2019. I built
oh,
8
okay.
companies from the ground up,
Oh, oh, I did
and
not know
I
that. Okay.
I barely made the money that was promised to me.
Uh,
And
uh,
I was promised, making $25,000 every quarter of the year.
wow, wow.
So that's $100,000 per year,
Yeah, yeah.
and I only made like a little above 10K.
All
And
together,
huh?
all together.